Hi, this is Sujit Paul here. Today's podcast primarily would give a beautiful understanding to many of you who have asked us as how does this entire flow of soul bifurcation happens, what kind of traits that we see and what should be actually done in a human world so that it can be handled well and managed. We have told multiple times that primarily when a body leaves and it goes to the other part of the universe, there is nothing called hatred, there is nothing called jealousy, there is nothing called punishments, what we usually see in some of the religious books. It is all a flare of understanding and love. That's very clear, because whenever in a PLR sessions things have been seen, or in the spiritual world activities it have been seen, it was pretty clear in terms of understandings. Now when there are bodies that comes, and if that body have scoop out of various souls been actually linked to it, there is a phenomena that souls that have stayed connected earlier reconnects back. Now this phenomena of reconnecting back, people with deeper sense only understands, and people who do not have that sense, they meet and they go off, they probably just get a flare, and they could not kind of correlate, so that person is no more in the life and sphere and the diameter of the other person. I trust I have been able to make the spectators understand what I'm meaning. However, if one or both the souls can identify each other, then there is a sense of bonding that starts in this materialistic world. Now this is a beautiful phenomenon. Otherwise, how does it actually happen? Because it's a sphere of multiple actions that have happened over the period of whatever X amount of years, with 500 years, 1000 years, etc. And there is where suddenly two bodies come in contact in this world from various spheres, and they reconnect back. Now when the birth happens of a body, from that birth to a period of couple of months, that physical body still have some tendency to remember the past, but as the body actually gets more matured in from 5-6 months, the entire past is erased. That is the reason even if two body and soul gets connected, they will not really remember their past. Coming back, then how do you handle this kind of things? In today's societal geometry that we have, so typically what happens is many people call it love, many people call it whatever. There are various names that has been given to multiple different relationships that are there. In our earlier podcast, we did mention that your existing father, your existing mother, or your existing wife, husband, not necessarily that they are your karmic activities or soulmates or twin flames. No, they could be one amongst the same. So when you meet someone and you find a strong sense of association, then first and foremost we always recommend, do not jump into decision right away. Take time, understand each other, give time to each other. All relationships do not need to get into something which may or may not be needed. It's very important that whenever you meet anyone in the line of movement of your life, you kind of, if you feel that there is a level of connections, now that connections can be nurtured in various ways. When people have one-to-one sessions with us, we do explain as to how the nurturing does happens. Whether you spend time together, whether you kind of go hang out together, you go to a good restaurant, it could be in various ways. Just ensure that you people spend good time with each other, you people understand each other, because maybe if in this life you are again ignoring, you will again get back on that. So if you are ignoring in a positive way, you'll get back in a positive way or neutralized. If you're ignoring in the negative way, then you would definitely get back in various different kind of ways, either in the next life or next to next life, or so on and so forth. But when two people who feel attracted to each other and they know that there are certain connections. Then is the point where you release your oxytocins from the body, the dopamine starts releasing, the neurotransmitters starts opening up in the brain. Now mind you, research have enough data to show that when you meet, these two people meet, the brain functions that opens up is different when probably you meet your mother or so on and so forth. There too you're happy and the brain functions open up, but there are different brain functions opens up that actually gives more joy, more happiness, release of more oxytocins in the body, etc., etc., etc. And that is where it cements the bonding. That is where two souls comes back again and again and again, and they keep enjoying each other, and that's called the dance of souls. Now, many people in the today's busy societal lives do not understand what is this dance of souls. Dance of souls is a beautiful phenomena if you know how to enjoy a dance of soul. And in the dance of soul, the body, the soul, they mixes. Now, that is where we find that due to various scenarios, situations, the bodies may have to part, or the bodies may or may not have to part for various reasons. Now, even if the bodies part, still there is a dance of soul. You do not need to always stay connected, talk, etc., etc. But there are ways to connect back, there are ways to meet back, there are ways to chat back, there are ways and vibrational energies to touch back. And there is where the person, even if the person is 1,000 miles away from you, the person gets a vibration, there's a dance of soul. Now, this is an amazing phenomena. This is a pleasure by itself. This is a pleasure where it's at the peak, at the high, which is much more than any pleasure that you can get. Pleasure is not only that you get when you do certain activities, but pleasure is when you can understand each other. When the depth of understanding is so deep that the entire tuning fork vibration gets into similar hertz, and you find that the entire flow of pleasure actually floats around in both the bodies. But it can so much happen that due to various reasons, both the bodies cannot come together at all point of time. That's absolutely fine. That's how the equations have been made. And there is where again you find a huge vibration that floats around, and there is dance of soul. So if you want to know more about this, how this actually activity happens, if you want to speak to us to share your own story and kind of understand and decode yourself, do reach out to us and block an appointment so that we can work closely with you and kind of show you the light of probably your dance of soul in your life. Thank you so much.